Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 14 of the Pop Punk Podcast. 14 episodes, holy shit. With me, T. Will Official, and my G-ass co-host, Mr. Daddy Mush. Say what's up, Mr. Daddy Mush.
What's up, everybody? And once again, thank you for that rousing introduction. Always appreciate it. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good today. How about yourself?
Well, I'm doing great. As of right now, we're recording. The Braves are winning 4-0 and about might advance to the next round. So I'm doing pretty good as of right now as we speak.
Yeah, I'm also, I can't complain at all. We're just chilling. They showed off some new like Mortal Kombat stuff today, which makes me excited because as you guys know, I do love me some Mortal Kombat. So today's just a good day, and
Yeah.
today we have something. We're gonna be kind of doing what we did last week, but we're gonna be doing it with a different album because sometimes with pop punk, it's not a genre where new things happen exactly every day. So, you know what? So today our episode, we're gonna be reviewing Blink 182's Enema of the State. For those that are watching on YouTube, I do have a video for Enema of the State on my channel. So if you guys want to watch that, that's cool. But I figured this is like if that's the album, this is like the special deluxe edition, right? Like we got it'll be my updated opinions on Enema of the State, because let's be honest, nobody is gonna have the exact same opinion every single day of their life. Opinions change over time. So you guys are gonna have my updated opinion because that video I released that over a year ago. So we'll have my updated opinion, we'll get Ed's opinion. But before we hop into that, what have you been listening to this week, sir?
More of the same. More of the same. I've been listening to my playlist at work of just the random pop punk songs thrown in there. Blink, Newfound, Rufio, Saves the Day, Just Surrender, Census Fail. More of the usual. Nothing really is updated or changed since you last spoke to me. And how about yourself?
I've been listening to. So last week, how I said I haven't heard the bonus tracks yet for MGK's newest album. They put them on Spotify. I think they put them on either the day that we recorded the review or the day after. And I've been listening to them quite a bit. The bonus songs are probably my favorite songs on the album, aside from Concert for Aliens and Forget Me Too. I really enjoy the song Body Bag, which features Youngblood and Burt McCracken. And I also really enjoy the song Split a Pill. Split a Pill features what I think is MGK harmonizing, and he's like doing some highs, and it sounds really good.
Nice, man. I gotta check those out.
And yeah, and then that's pretty much that. I've been kind of just been really what I listen to. Like I have, my playlist, and I'll listen to songs in the play. I can't really pick any of them out at the moment, aside from like MGK. I haven't really been listening to the heavy stuff too much this week. It's mainly just been MGK and just the songs in my playlist. Been listening to that song Cherry Cola a lot by Cowabunga. And
Very nice, yeah.
and Win by Two's new track Wasted Away.
Nice, nice, nice.
So yeah, so to do the traditional go through my top five, it's still it's updated a little bit. It's The Crimson by Atreyu, Concert for Aliens by MGK, Awkward Conversations by 5 Year Plan, Greg's Last Day by The Starting Line, and Right Side of the Bed by Atreyu. And then rounding out the top seven will be Therefore I Party by Patent Pending and Cherry Cola by Cowabunga.
Very nice, very nice. Cowabunga is they're an interesting band. I enjoy them quite a bit.
I can't say I know any of their other songs, but I really do enjoy Terry Cole. I love that riff. That like
That sounds
little
great.
that fast, crazy riff right at the beginning. That's as soon as I heard that, I like instantly put it in my playlist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good band. I know some of the guys personally, so I guess I'm a little biased. But
Oh, very nice. I didn't know this. Tell me more.
oh well. First of all, I've been listening to I like that band quite a bit back in the day, like 2010, 2011. Like I have that CD and I have their T-shirts and everything. And the guy is not the singer on that album, but their second singer is the boy Tommy Wiseman, who was a singer of the band Centerfolds, who I was like boys with, who were
Okay.
they're from Richmond, Virginia. So I talked to them a bit, and I got their stickers, and since I know them, I know the bit them personally, Facebook friends, and all. So I'm a little bit biased, I guess, in that regard. But Cherry Cole is, in my opinion, definitely their best song, if you ask me. So,
Yeah. Yeah, same. And
but
yeah, so I guess with that out of the way, we can just hop right in. So yeah,
yeah,
Enema of the State. I know it's another Blink episode, but we have talked to death about the state of Blink and Matt Skiba and John Feldman, Mark Hoppus. So we're gonna not really talk about that too much today. We're just gonna simply go through Enema of the State track by track, say what we like about the songs, and that's today's gonna probably be a little bit of a shorter episode. But it's gonna be shorter for a reason. So Ed just started a new schedule at work, and he now leaves the house like pretty much right when we would be ending. So next week we will be doing a new time slot to accommodate that. But this week we just wanted to do kind of a shorter episode to transition, let everybody know. Obviously, if you're still watching on YouTube, Tuesday at noon, that's been set in stone since episode 2. So that's not changing. But if you watch live on Twitch, there will be a new schedule incoming next week. We haven't decided the schedule yet, but we will let you know on social media, and we will probably let you know in the description of the YouTube video, because we will most likely know by the time that it's uploaded. And yeah, so today's gonna probably be a little bit of a shorter episode, and I think that's part of the reason why we wanted to do Enema of the State today, is because I think we both let you guys know how we feel about that album many times before, but we just want to do a little in-depth go track by track. And yeah, so Enema of the State, for those that don't know, if you haven't seen this podcast before, if you're not too into pop punk, it was Blink-182's third studio album, came out on June 1st, 1999. The genres on Wikipedia are pop punk and skate punk. And yeah, I guess with the background out of the way, we can just hop right on in. Track 1, Dumpweed. Ed, you take the floor with this one.
okay. Well, I mean, this album is this album's something special, but I guess I'll do that for my final review. But Dumpweed is one of the all-time great pop punk opening tracks of all time.
I do love
The
the
song,
riff.
that song is it's one of the most, like I said, it's one of the most epic opening tracks in pop punk history. That opening riff, how it just starts out huge with the drum just going in slow chugging with that guitar riff, and then it just speeds up with this slimy noodle riff. It really just sets the tone of what the genre is going to be for the next 2 decades. It's perfect. It's
Yeah,
almost one of my best songs.
it's kind of funny since Enema of the State pretty much like refined pop punk. Like, obviously, it didn't create the genre. The genre's been around since, debatably, the late 70s, early 80s. So, obviously, it didn't create the genre. But seeing how Enema of the State kind of refined pop punk, then that also doesn't just make Dumpweed an opener for the album, but it almost kind of makes Dumpweed an opener for, like, the early 2000s, like, that era of pop punk.
Yeah, I mean, most kids, I mean, this is before the age of YouTube and I guess widely internet. So if you're a kid or somebody, and Enema was huge, it's the third best selling pop punk album of all time. You put that album on, it's gonna be the first song you hear by them that wasn't a single. You know what I mean? If you're new to Blink-182, so like this is your first introduction to like outside like What's My Age and all the small things, probably to what pop punk is, and it was one of the first pop punk songs I ever heard, and it's just a great song. There's really nothing much I can say about it. It's fast, it's catchy, the lyrics are typical Tom DeLonge late '90s Blink. Guitar is awesome. It's chuggy, it's crunchy, and it's just a great song. I give it like a 9.5 out of 10.
Now
Why is it missing point five?
you said it's the third best selling album. What would the first two be?
Well, fortunately, they're both Green Day albums.
Oh, oh God.
It's Dookie and American Idiot. So it's the best non-selling Green Day pop punk album. So yeah, there's that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't really have a lot to say about the song that you didn't already say. I think it's an awesome opener. Um, it's got the energy that I really like. You know, like it's something you can like jump around to. I love songs that start out where it's like the guitar ringing out and then like a riff playing or something. You know, like this
Hmm.
Shoebox Memories by Better Luck Next Time. I love openings like that. So it's just obviously I really like this song. And yeah, I don't think really there's anything else about the song I can say that you already didn't.
Yeah, I mean, the opening's epic. You know, it's that slow ring out that lets you know that like it's about to hit the fan, and then it just kicks in. It's just awesome. And then yeah, that's all I got for that song.
Yeah, I like how the verses are kind of almost like they're like more chill before like the chorus gets really energetic again.
Yeah, it's just one of the best pop punk openers of all time. It's simple as that.
All right, moving on. Track 2. Don't Leave Me. Um
And
yeah, it keeps the flow going from Dumpweed.
yeah,
Still pretty energetic. I
yeah, it's
enjoy
just
it quite a bit. I love
yeah,
I love the like the "Don't Leave Me." Very catchy, in my opinion.
yeah. I mean, it just keeps what Dumpweed started. It just keeps it going. It just keeps the gut punch going. It keeps it moving. It's just I mean, it's definitely not as good as Dumpweed in my opinion. It's probably maybe in my lower. I mean, I'm about to say this in the nicest way possible. It's definitely in my lower half of how I rank the songs, but all the songs on here are great. So that's no shot disrespect to the
Yeah,
song,
yeah,
but it's
yeah,
definitely one of my lesser on the album.
yeah.
But it's definitely still a
I'll
good song.
throw I'll throw a little spoiler alert out there too. For me, I don't just like MGK's album. With this album, there's not a single song on the album that I dislike. I like all these songs quite a bit. Just obviously, you know, with any album, there's gonna be songs I like more than the others.
Yeah, and this is definitely one of those songs where I definitely like a handful more than this, but it's still a good song. It's catchy, it's fast, it just keeps it going. It's the perfect second track, I guess to introduce you to Mr. Hoppus on the album.
That's true
And you
because
know, has
it is the first Mark song on the album where he's like singing.
yeah, so I mean, like I said, it's just kind of I guess if there was no Dumpweed, I guess this would be a the opener for the Hoppus section of the album. And then yeah, that's all I gotta say about that one.
Yeah. Um. Same. Once again, I like to, if you guys want to hear my thoughts a little more in depth, I do have that video. A little bit back in my in the YouTube catalog. It's called "Is It Good?" Enema of the State album review. Um. Yeah, I think I pretty much just would agree with you on that. I like that it keeps the energy going from the first song. Um. I don't know if I put it bottom tier for this album, but I definitely it would probably be about mid tier for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, out of the 12 tracks, if I have to split them in 50%, 50%, it's probably on the fringe of the top end of that 50%. I mean, all the songs are great, so I can't even really disrespect it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, yeah. Moving on. Track 3. Aliens Exist.
This is first of all, in my opinion, it's one of my it's definitely one of my favorites on this album. It's just a
Yeah.
great catchy song, and it gives you a little sneak peek of what Tom DeLonge is what he is today and
Yeah,
for the last 15 years.
I think I actually said that in like my video review of this album. I was like, it's a little little taste of what's to come for Tom.
Exactly. At first you think it's just, okay, well, it's the late 90s. You see the music videos, you hear the songs, you think it's just, them being goofy and silly, and it's just, a lighthearted song about aliens. But little did you know that this is just a little taste of what's to come of the bigger Tom DeLonge picture of what he's doing with his life.
Yeah, it's he's kind of in recent years he's definitely gone off his rocker. As I've said before, when I heard people call him a UFO freak, I legit just thought they were making fun of Angels and Airwaves and how they sound kind of spacey. I had no idea that this is just literally this man's life was chasing UFOs. And apparently, what you told me yesterday, Tom DeLonge actually has a sci-fi movie coming out that he's directing called Monsters of California, which
Yeah,
is
so
very on brand for Tom, and I'm actually kind of excited to see that.
yeah, it's a
Uh,
legit production. It's
I,
not just some random
I
indie flick.
actually, I hope it makes its way into movies, and it's not just like a smaller, like direct to streaming type deal. Because I would go see
Yeah,
that.
I would love to see a Tom DeLonge film, as I say, on the big screen. That's insane.
It wasn't like I think like Angels and Airways was trying to do something like that. I remember they said that there was like a film coming that was supposed to like encapsulate like all the music videos and shit and tell like a big
Oh yeah, they
story.
yeah they have a couple of movies, Angels and Airways movies. Yeah, Corner Tom DeLonge. It's not just a band, but it's a media. Like it's just a giant media thing where they have like books, comics, children's books, and obviously the music, short films. It's a whole kit and caboodle with them.
Yeah, you could definitely tell Tom is the artsier of the two between him and Mark Hoppus.
To Tom DeLonge, this is just all just a bigger picture of things. This is not really this is not his first foray into directing because he got bored. This is something he's has a relative pretty big experience in.
Yeah.
But I
And
guess with the actual song, oh, go on.
well, I was just gonna say Aliens Exist is almost like the episode zero to the
Yeah, I
Angels and
know.
Airwaves saga.
Yeah, I know. Like you never think it, but the song itself, the music, it's catchy. It definitely kind of takes takes it back just a notch with the intensity of the first two songs bring, which it's a great track three. It's catchy, the lyrics are funny, um, vocal melody's great. I mean, I just love this album in general. So you're pretty much it's gonna be just a one giant echo chamber with me when it comes to reviewing songs. But it's good out. It's a good song, man. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, I think the opening drum shit really showcases Travis's abilities, I would say.
Yeah, it's definitely because the first two tracks are essentially something you would hear with Scott Rayner on the kit. Because it's fast, it's pretty straightforward pop punk, nothing really
I'm
crazy.
I don't know if
Dumpweed
I'd
is pretty
agree with
intense.
you on. I don't know if I'd agree with you on Dumpweed. I think there's a lot of like little Travis nuances in Dumpweed.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about it, but what are you gonna do?
But I would just I think that it's pretty much Travis's like drumming in a nutshell. Like it's insane. It's pretty
Mhm.
fast, but it still fits in the context of the song. I mean, I guess you could argue that he overplays it a little bit, but I don't agree with that. I think in most cases, I mean, there's probably a few cases that where I would look at it and be like, dude, it kind of sounds like he's just trying to show off right here. But in like 95% of cases, I usually for me it still sounds really good in the context of the song.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I've never once complained about Mr. Barker's drumming on any Blink song, really. So no complaints from here. But before we move on, I just want to have another complaint about not the song, but I don't like how they at Blink 182 had the whole alien aesthetic going on without the alien
oh,
guy in the band.
yeah, I
That's
know
just
exactly. It felt so weird seeing Blink live and hearing Matt Skiba sing "Aliens Exist."
yeah, with the whole kind of alien, aesthetic going on during the performance, the video and the blow up stuff. It irks me the wrong way to say the least.
Yeah, it's super weird. And like I mean, I guess I get it because they did have to play the Aliens because it is a part of the album and they were playing the album front to back. So I understand that they have to play it, but it felt very weird because like this is like Tom's life's work.
Exactly. It's a clown move to say the least, but that's all I gotta say about that sucker.
And so I guess moving on to probably my favorite track on the album, track number 4, "Going Away to College." And I don't really know if I have anything new to say that I didn't already say on like my video review. So I do want to talk about something that you told me that I remember noticing that I'm gonna now tell the podcast. So
Yes.
so I mean it's a Mark song. He does sing the vocals, but during the chorus, Mr. Daddy Mush here told me something that kind of made me have a major paradigm shift. You like almost can't tell if it's Mark or Tom singing the chorus. And the reason for that, I remember I've listened to this song extensively, trying to figure out why the fuck it sounds like Tom when I want to hear Tom, and why it sounds like Mark when I want to hear Mark. The reason they do that is they're both singing, and the mix is just so weird that like Tom is just enough in there to hear him if you want to, but then not in there enough to overpower Mark. So like if you're listening for Tom, you'll hear Tom. If you're listening for Mark, you'll hear Mark.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting because you hear Mark's voice, but if you listen, you hear the Tom twang when he's singing a
Yeah,
bouquet of
his like
fancy
his like
words.
inflections. Like,
Yeah, his
I
little twang
haven't
with his
been this
voice.
scared in a long time.
Yeah, like you hear that just enough where you'd be like, "Hold up, wait a minute," because and he does confirm it because if you watch videos from like the late '90s, early 2000s, they do both sing the chorus together. So definitely confirms it recording wise that they do it in the studio as well. But I first like noticed that I had one of those sweating moments where I had to dust off the sweat off my forehead. But sounds great though. Sounds good.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite. It's my favorite song on the album because when it kicks in, I don't know. I just really like the part where it kicks in.
Yeah, with the little guitar riff going. "Na, na,
Yeah,
na." Yeah,
like I am obviously not a professional critic, so I can't exactly tell you why that sounds good to my ears. It just sounds fucking great to my ears.
well, it's just that traditional Blink 182 guitar riff that
Yeah, like
they always
it
give,
has that real like early 2000s comedy vibe to it, I guess you could say.
which makes sense considering they were in legit in a
Yes,
movie.
they were legitimately a part of the cast of American Pie.
Or funny enough,
Or
Travis Barker got credit as Scott
yeah,
Raynor.
he is mislabeled as Scott Raynor.
Yeah, but since this is your favorite track on the album, is there anything you want to go in depth with about?
Um Not really. Again, like I said, I pretty much extensively covered this song on the album review video that I did, so I don't really think I have anything new to say about it. Um, it just I really fucking love when that song kicks in, and I think I remember having a little bit of a Mandela effect with this song. Because like I remember
Okay, go on.
at the end, right? Like they do the chorus again, and then it just ends and leads into the next song. But I
Mm-hmm.
remember like I did before I like really started like listening to the song. I distinctly remembered like they they go through the chorus and then the song ends and then it does like the little one more time before ending into the next song. But I had a
Yeah,
Mandela effect because that's the middle of the song.
yeah. Because just goes right into track 5. But just before I guess we move on, I just want to say that this is probably my favorite Mark Hoppus song on the album. Most
Okay.
of my favorite songs on the album are, in my opinion, this is like the only Blink album where I prefer pretty much like 95% of the Tom songs compared to the Mark songs. Well, in most cases, it's more 50-50, or I lean to Mark more than Tom. But Enema, definitely, in my opinion, is a Tom album for me.
Hmm.
Because Going Away College is my favorite Mark song, but there are, I think, I like three or four more songs, even more than that, that are all Tom songs. But yeah, it's definitely my favorite Mark song.
Yeah, and I think for me it would probably be just overall my favorite song. Um, yeah, I could if I had to go through album to album, I don't think I could tell you which ones I prefer overall, the Mark or the Tom songs. Uh on their old albums like Cheshire Cat and Dude Ranch, I think all my favorites on both of those albums are Mark songs with the exception of Carousel. But once they kind of like went more pop punk than skate punk, I don't know if I could tell you. I'd have to listen to them all again.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair assessment because I pretty much go with Cheshire and Dude Ranch. I pretty much go Mark Hoppus, and then I go Tom for Enema and Take Off Your Pants, and then I go Mark with Neighborhoods and Untitled.
Yeah, although I know with Neighborhoods, my favorite song off of Neighborhoods, which would be Natives. Spoiler alert in case we ever do a Neighborhoods review. Um, is both of them. Mark on the verses or Tom on the verses, my apologies, and then Mark on the chorus.
Yeah, that's a great song too. Going to College, it's just a catchy song. I like the lyrics. They have a very kind of sweet, almost juvenile romantic lyrics to it, which is a guilty pleasure of mine, like a young love. And it's just a good, lighthearted, catchy song.
I agree to that. And yeah, I fucking love when the song kicks in. Like I think that might be my favorite part of the song.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to say about that before we move on to the lead single?
Nope. Well, I don't think it's the lead single.
Well, it was the first single they released on the album, so
Well,
thus
oh, anyway,
the
yeah.
lead single.
Moving on to track number 5. What's my age again?
Yes, the first
Um,
single on the album.
yeah. Don't really have a whole lot to say about this one. This one's probably a little more mid tier for me because it kind of dials it back on the energy. And again, there's not a single song on this album I dislike, so I definitely like it. I just think it would probably be a little more mid tier for me than top tier.
Yeah, I
Maybe,
mean, I guess my
maybe even
go on.
closer to the bottom tier for me.
Interesting take. I must say, interesting take. I must say, but for me, probably a bit more. Probably my second or third favorite Mark song. I gotta say. I mean, the guitar riff is funny enough because it just shows how simplistic Blink 182 really is. At the end of the day, it's probably the most. I mean, post like before they got real spacey and experimental. This is definitely out of the true pop punk song, probably the more crazier, I guess, Blink 182 songs to play on guitar, just from a sake of the lead riff. But I mean, it's just a catchy song. I mean, there's really,
Yeah,
I
I'm.
mean, what took this song? I was gonna say, what made this song a little less, what made me think about the song a little lesser is how they kind of beat that music video to death for nostalgia's sake for the "She's Out of Her Mind" music video, which is a different topic.
And Man Overboard.
Yes, but I
And
mean that's
I think they've done it a few times, like outside of Blink songs.
yeah. So it's just, but I mean, I like the song. I mean, it's this was a lot of people's first introduction to Blink because this was their first single off the album, but it wasn't the. I mean, it
I
was a big hit. Don't get me wrong; it
I
was one
think
of
it was my
the top.
introduction to Blink as well. Actually,
Really, no,
now like 3 or whatever.
nice man, nice. But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
for those that are watching that are maybe a little bit older, like like mid 20s, late 20s. If you guys remember, now that's what I call music. It was just it was just like a compilation of like all the biggest pop songs of like whenever the album came out. So like it started in like I think like 98 or 99. And yeah, it was one of the it was like now 3 or now 4 had What's My Age Again on it, and that was probably my first real introduction to Blink, because my mom bought those CDs like all the time, and we listened to them in the car, and
Hmm.
yeah, and then What's My Age Again will come on, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I also have to say that like this was the first single. I mean, the music video and the song really gave like the perfect first impression to the general public. Like this is what Blink 182 is all about. But the immature lyrics, the song's literally called "What's My Age Again." The entire theme of the song is being silly and goofy and young, and the music video is just also, nobody's ever had a music video where three guys are naked running around the town.
Yeah, it's
Like the out
definitely
like set the
yeah.
vibe to the general public of these are what these guys are about. They don't take themselves too serious. They make this fun, catchy, simple pop punk music that will, little do they know, that will change a genre forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And for at face, I do love the video. I
Oh yeah,
definitely I think I agree
it's
with you
called
that
classic.
it is beaten to death a little bit. Just because I think in terms of music videos, it's probably their most popular.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I mean it's kind of hard to go wrong with a video
I,
where three guys are
obviously,
running around naked.
in terms of just the songs, I don't think it's their most popular. But if we're only
Hmm.
talking the music videos, it probably would be their most popular. So I mean, I guess I do understand. You go with what puts the food on the table, but it definitely does make me kind of look back on it a little bit, like they beat this shit to death. But at
Yes.
face value, I do enjoy the video.
Yes, before they beat it to death, I used to love it as like a preteen, just as a kid because it's just so ridiculous and funny to me.
Yeah,
But that's all I gotta say about "What's My Age Again."
yeah. I guess the one last thing I just want to say is "What's My Age Again" is actually the first song I ever learned to play on the bass.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you. So yeah,
Yeah,
so I guess we could move on to track number 6, which would probably be my second favorite song of the album,
oh,
"Dysentery
same,
Gary."
same. This is also my second favorite song on the album. I was about to just say "You Stole My Thunder." This song, this song is
It used to be my favorite, but just like over time, like taste changed and everything. It
oh
ended up
yeah, I
being my
mean,
second favorite. I think going away to college overtook it. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean
yeah,
to cut you off. Go ahead.
no, I mean, this song is the guitar riff is just has that kick-ass guitar riff. The song has this weird kind of like almost like bouncy catchiness with the little dun, 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 like like right before that he's a player diarrhea giver part of the song, like what I mean when I'm talking about, like that part where it has that little guitar riff going on, where it's like not distorted, it has this real kind of like bouncy kind of weird, like almost like a forget kind of vibe, but like the song is unique because it's not just like it goes from slow to super fast, and the lyrics are just like just pure unadulterated teen angst, and it's just like hilarious, but they're also just like it's just Tom DeLonge like being angry in 99, which is funny that this is him being angry. But
And
the song is just super catchy.
it's such a goofy song, and I fucking love Goofy.
Yeah, like it's like goofy, but it's not like over the top goofy where it's almost like it's a silly song lyrically, but it's like angry too, which just makes it like even more ridiculous, but it's just a catchy ass song, and the lyrics are, they're angry, but they're also funny at the same time, and it's fast, it's upbeat, it has that little bouncy kind of slower moments in there. It's just like during the bridge when Mark sings and everything. It's just
Yeah, I actually do really
definitely
love
the
the
most
part.
underrated gem.
I do really love the part where Mark sings.
Yeah, it's an underrated gem for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely wish it was a little bit more known. I don't even know if it's like a cult hit.
Yeah, I would. I mean, well, Blink 182, they're such a big band that there's always going to be your facets. I think it's definitely, I feel like one of the more popular non-singles, which is saying a lot because they have a lot of singles and they can play full-blown set lists with just the singles.
Yeah, it's true. Over there, like 9, 10 fucking albums.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just, top 10 Billboard hits that, it'd be a little bit safer to play the singles and some more, I guess, relatively speaking, relative deep cuts. I say relative with the most, like, loosely way possible because they're all relatively deep cuts because it's Blink 182 freaking 2 on the third best selling pop punk album of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
mean, it's like calling a Beatles song that's not "I Want to Hold Your Hand" a deep cut. I
Yeah,
don't really know
yeah,
any
you
Beatles
just
songs,
can't.
honestly, but
Yeah, I don't think anything on this album is really a deep cut.
yeah, it's not like they're playing Peggy Sue on Cheshire Cat or Lemmings off of Dude Ranch or Zulu off They Came to Conquer Uranus EP. know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
Those are more deep
yeah,
cuts.
yeah,
Like I said, relatively
that,
speaking, it's a deep cut.
yeah, those would be the deep cuts, or like their fucking "Dancing with Myself" cover.
Yeah, yeah. So, like I said, so when I say deep cut, it's all relative speaking.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's definitely my second favorite on the album, and the lyrics are funny, but they're not. But they're like angry at the same time, which is weird. I think it's funny because Tom DeLonge is trying to be angry, but it's Tom DeLonge, so in '99, it's kind of hard for him to be serious. It seems like, and
yeah.
the
Talking
guitar's
about
catchy.
talking about he's a player and he gives out diarrhea to people.
Yeah, I like when he talks about something about you like wearing like Wilson a Slayer growing his hair out. It's just the lyrics are insane. It's just catchy. It's a fun song, and if you only know like the singles, this is definitely a song you got to check out.
Yeah, I agree, and you know what? It's both of our second favorite song on the album.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
I guess there's really nothing else to say about it unless you want to go on.
Now I think we could just move on to track 7. And for this one's gonna definitely be more you because I actually usually skip this song. Not because I think it's a bad song, but just because it's a little more serious. So it kind of like kills the happy fun vibe of the rest of the album. So if I'm usually like when I'm listening to the whole album straight through, I'll usually just skip this song.
Yeah, well, I mean, Adam's song. This was their third single, and it's definitely by far one of the more depressing Blink songs to say the least. I mean, it's all about never thought he would die alone and tell mom it's not my fault.
Yeah,
I like it just because.
I forget if it's like it was like a high profile news story or if it was like their friend. But I think it is about someone that like killed themselves like in real life.
Yeah, I mean, you hear a lot of stuff, pre like fact checking of a lot of different, like I guess, like different Adam song meaning.
Oh, here we
But
go. Here we go. Hampas was inspired by the loneliness he experienced while on tour. While his bandmates had significant others to return home to, he was single. He was also influenced by a teen suicide letter he read in a magazine. The song takes the form of a suicide note and contains lyrical allusions to the Nirvana song "Come as You Are."
yeah,
So
so I mean,
that's the background of that song. So I guess neither of those were right. It wasn't their friend, and it wasn't like a high profile thing. It was just a letter he read in a magazine. Doesn't make it any less sad though. That's still unfortunately somebody that ended their own life.
yeah, so I mean, it's definitely. I mean, it's probably if you want to go for a more like artistic seriousness song, it's definitely one of the more well written lyrics as it's pretty deep and it's very mature, especially for '99 Blink and when the other albums have Dysentery Gary and they got Dude Ranch, a song
Yeah,
about
it
just
comes right
peeping
after
Tom.
Dysentery Gary. The whiplash alone is why I skip it when I'm listening to the whole album.
Yeah, but I mean, I like it because I'm a bit more, I guess, not sympathetic, but not that's a terrible word to use. But I'm a bit more. I enjoy in the terms of seriousness to goofiness. I definitely prefer more seriousness in a vacuum to goofy. So lyrics, I really like the lyrics because I enjoy serious songs like that sometimes. And
Yeah,
sometimes you need a little, you need a little bit of sadness to remind you of the happiness of the rest of the album. A little gut check to let you know that even with the light, there is a little bit of dark in there. You
Fair
want to get
enough.
deep with it.
Yeah,
But,
for me, I mean, I just like good lyrics. I don't really mind if they're goofy or serious, just as long as they give me some form of entertainment. Whether that's, oh, look at how silly these lyrics are, or yo, this song's actually pretty fucking like deep. Just,
yeah.
just give me good lyrics. Although, as we said before, bad lyrics don't necessarily take me out of it unless they're like really fucking bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit more of, I guess, a lyric snob because bad lyrics. Oh, I hate bad lyrics. I'd be listening, I'd be like, bruh, what did you just say?
Bruh.
I mean, I get that a lot with a lot of newer newfound. I'm just like, what the heck would I just listen to? It's like I'm like, I
I
gotta
just I
skip this.
love
This
how
is corny.
I love how they name dropped the fucking, was it the 96 Bulls?
90, yeah, with Jordan, Rodman, and Pippen.
I fucking love it.
I know, and I'm just like, okay then, interesting to say the least. Okay, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely their most mature song up to the time being, and it's probably one of the more serious songs. Definitely their second or most serious song pre Untitled.
Yeah, I think so. I think I would agree with that. And it's funny because after the Salto, like they just went in a way more serious direction. But yeah, I think on their first four albums, yeah, I'd probably say this is definitely either the most serious or the second most serious.
Yes, after Stay Together for the Kids is the only other one I could think of that could top it.
Yeah. Like
And left the
guys,
boards. Yeah, so that's all I gotta say about that song.
yeah, if you want to move on, we can move on to track number 8.
Which is the big hitter.
Yeah, no doubt the most popular song they have ever made. All the small things. The biggest song in the genre. Not even a question.
Yes, this song is everybody knows this song from your parents know this song, your aunts knows this song, the 6-year-old guy at the bar knows this song. Everybody knows this song. Unless you're living on a rock or you've been in a coma since '98, you know this song.
Exactly. Yeah, I've gone on record before saying I fucking love this song. Even if I don't listen to it all the time, I fucking love it just for like what it did to a genre that I fucking love.
This is the first pop punk song I ever heard because I was like 4 or 5 in '99,
Um
2000 on watching MTV with my middle school siblings.
I think mine would probably be What's My Age Again? Because like I said, I heard that on Now like 3 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because that was their first single, like you said, that was on the Now CD before the Now CD that had this one. This one was on Now too. I think this was on like Now 4 or Now 5 or whatever. Um but because What's My Age Again was an earlier single, it was on an earlier edition of Now. So What's My Age Again was the first, I think, pop punk song I heard.
Yeah, all the
But
small things.
yeah, no, I love it because this song pretty much revolutionized the genre. As we said before this album, it was definitely a lot more skate punky, which I do enjoy. I do enjoy the '90s pop punk. I love MXPX. Um, don't really listen to it a whole lot, but I fucking love the wave of pop punk that started with this song. So
Yes, I mean,
I'm very grateful of it revolutionizing pop punk into what it is that we know today.
'99. I mean, it's weird how like something when I'm 4 years old still holds true to I'm 25 because like I love like what drew me to the song is like I love the catchiness and the thing that I love the most about the genre was like I loved the nasally whiny voices in the genre and this definitely made the whiny vocalists mainstay in the genre.
Well, I remember I was actually watching a video on what like objectively made this song good from like a songwriting standpoint. It was actually a pretty good watch. It was Rick Beato, and he was like going through, and he was just saying like all the different like little songwriting techniques that was in the song that made it like just good from a songwriting standpoint. And
Yeah, I mean, I see that video, and I recommend it all the time.
To anybody that hasn't watched it, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I recommend it. It's a good watch. Dude, like I said, dude's name's Rick Beato.
I always see that in my recommended, but I never actually clicked on it, so I know exactly what you're talking about, though. But like, this song made a lot of parents angry indirectly, because I remember watching a Tom DeLonge interview on a late night show, and like, all the kids love this song because it's na 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 na, and it's just a very radio friendly, very goofy, sugary coaty.
Dude, it's got really catchy vocal hooks.
I know, but like, kids loved it, and then the parents take their kids to see Blink, and then like he was just saying how like, because they came out on stage with a giant, like, it was just a giant fuck just on fire, and like, he just sees a bunch of like parents just walking out with their kids.
Yeah, because their live show is not intended for children. Yeah, they got the flaming fuck. They got Satan that comes out and says shit. Tom and Mark argued like a fucking old married couple.
Yeah, but they're talking about jizz and everything, and
yeah, it's basically their live show was basically American Pie, and then there's maybe some songs in between.
Yeah, but I thought it was just funny how like, the parents are like, oh, I love this song, we'll take you to see them, and they just walk out as soon as like they ring out.
And then of course, family reunion.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's just insanity. But this song...
I think most of the people that watch this podcast probably know what Family Reunion is, but if you don't, for whatever reason, look it up. Blink-182, Family Reunion. It's just a bunch of obscenities.
Yeah, I think the nicest lyric was fart.
Yeah. I'm not going to sing it, because that'll absolutely get me demonetized. But, just look it up.
But and then that's all I gotta say about all the small things. Catchy as all hell, revolutionized the genre. They're a hit that made them. I mean, they were already radio, but this is what made them like pop stars, essentially.
Yeah, 100%. It's just a fucking good song. Like, I'm even taking out like, obviously I respect the song for what it did for the genre, but even taking that out, I just still really enjoy it as a song. It's a very catchy pop punk song. Probably a little more on the poppy side, but that's not a bad thing to me. I enjoy poppy.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's fine. It's good. It's a solid 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. I mean, I got no complaints about it.
Yeah. So I guess we can move on to the next song, track number 9, the party song. And this one, my first exposure to this song specifically was Rock Band, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, it's in Rock Band.
Well, I mean, this song's alright. It's definitely, probably, honestly, maybe my, I have to say if I had a least favorite song on the album, or the most forgettable song, it would probably honestly be this song, to be honest with you.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know. It's just, once again, I think the Tom songs on here are just better than the Mark songs in general. But like, I mean, the song is, well, for me, it's very hard for me to sing along just because it's so freaking fast.
Yeah.
That's not a complaint about the song, but it's just,
it might be.
It's short. It's fast.
It might actually be their fastest song, like on the drums.
I mean, this song's super fast. It's just. It's a good song. It's a good song, but I mean, it's hard to do a review of things when you like something. It's much easier to review something when you dislike it, because then you just go on a giant tirade. But like, the song's good. Well, it's just
listen, rip into it. Just disclaim at the start with, I love this song, but
I like the song. It's just I don't know for whatever reason. Like I know it's fast, and usually fast and boring don't mix well. But to me, it's just it wasn't super duper like fast with the verses. It'd be one of the most forgettable songs on the album to me. And if I have to pick, if any song gets a quote unquote filler label to me, it'll probably be this song. To be honest,
Yeah, I could definitely
the,
see
the
that.
song's the song's still good. Okay, the song's still good nonetheless.
Yeah, I don't know if I put it bottom tier, but I would definitely put it like yeah, definitely mid tier, probably close to the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much for me to say about this. The lyrics are just a party, and you can't trust girls with green eyes, and they have boobs, and for whatever reason, that makes you can't trust them. It's just typical, If you love Enema of the State, here's more Enema of the State in all its goodness. But in my opinion, I think there's just better songs on the album. That's just me.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Is there
Um,
anything you want to say about it in particular?
Not really. Just I just wanted to share that little tidbit that the first time I heard the song was in Rock Band.
Oh, very
Um,
nice.
yeah, I mean, I think I'd probably put it mid tier. There's not really a whole lot about it that stands out, other than the fact that, like I said, it might be their fastest song on the drums. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think I agree with. I definitely wouldn't call it a bad song, but there's just not really a whole lot that makes it stand out. But if you like Enema of the State, it's more Enema of the State. So that alone makes me still like it as a song.
Yeah, the problem with the party song to me is that it's just surrounded by bangers and other unique songs. You know what I mean? It comes right after their big number one hit, and then it comes right before my third or fourth favorite on the album.
You dirty motherfucker. It's my third favorite, too.
Oh, how about that? Well, I said third or fourth, so it's not that.
Okay.
Third or fourth depends how I'm feeling, but it definitely has the coolest bass though.
So I guess we could just transition right into track 10 then, because we're already talking about it.
Yeah, I know. Mutt. Here we go.
Yeah,
Track
track number
10, Mutt.
10, Mutt. And as you know, it is my third favorite song on the album. I can't remember what my top three was in the video, but as I said, taste change. So as of now, my top three are Going Away to College, Dysentery Gary, and Mutt. That would round out my top three on this album. The first time I heard this was in American Pie when Jim's running down the street because he's got Nadia in his room. She's like changing and shit, and he's like running down to Stifler's house because they put the webcam in there.
Yeah, and then you got the actual boys themselves in the video in this scene too.
Yes, with Mark Hoppus sharing the iconic line, "Go Trig boy, it's your birthday." That was a joke. I don't. It's obviously not iconic. If you watch this podcast long enough, you know that's just my sense of humor.
Yeah, it's just yeah, but I mean the actual song itself, it has one of the most I won't say the most because, but it definitely has one of the more memorable and more famous Blink 182 bass lines of the whole, the opening intro of just all do 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 do, and then the verse of do 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 do, or of course whatever it is. But like, it's a really fun song to play on bass, is because I can play it on bass, so I just like playing that song on bass because it's just fun and catchy. But
That was
lyrics,
beautiful.
thank you very much. The lyrics are just Tom DeLonge goodness of just funness, good songwriting, and just the slightest hint of teen angst to let you know that this is like that I may be 20 something, but I'm still angry, but I'm immature though. It's just encapsulated what the album's about, and it's just catchy, and the bass work on that is one of Hoppus's finest bass on on this song. Just from it may not be the most difficult, but it's definitely one of the more catchiest, I would say for sure.
Yeah, I guess a lot of what makes it rank so high for me it probably might just be a nostalgia because I don't know if I could think of objectively like anything that makes me love it so much, but I just do.
Yeah, well, here. I mean, the thing about art is just music. It makes you feel a certain way if you like listen to a song and you like listening to it. But the song is just good though, man. The guitar is what you expect from Blink. The bass is pompous in a nutshell. Lyrics are just silly and fun with the slightest bit of teen angst. It just the the whole encapsulation of what Enema's about. And if you want to get a little fun fact, if you ever want to hear the demo of it with Scott Rayner on the kit, it's out there on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, it's crazy. It goes to show how much different a drummer and producer can make a song.
Yeah,
Because
in particular
with,
producer.
with Scott's drumming and the production of the song, it sounds like it'd be right at home on Dude Ranch. But then you switch up drummers, you get Travis on the kit, and you get Jerry Finn producing, and it fits right with the rest of the album.
Yeah, I know. It's just funny how production matters.
Well, and drumming too, because it definitely
Well,
with Scott, it
I
definitely
know.
was a lot more Dude Ranchy.
Well, that and Tom DeLonge's voice is more dude ranchy too. In my opinion, that's the big thing. It's just Tom's voice on. It's just way more dude ranch.
Yeah, he's got that skate punky. I kind of want to say rasp, but it's not really rasp. Well, I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think his voice production and then the drumming. I mean, the drumming does make a difference, but I think there are different things out there that change that make it sound different enough. But the song is still good. I like listening to the Scott version just because it's different and it's fun to listen to. But I guess in a nutshell, in a vacuum, I prefer the Enema version, which is saying quite a bit.
Yes, because if I recall, you do prefer Scott. Am I correct?
Well, I mean, objectively speaking, Travis is a much better drummer. I just defend Scott because I think a lot of people crap on him just because he was just great for what they were, and I definitely think Scott's more diverse considering he was like metal more than like punk music. So, but I think a lot of people say that Travis is what got them big, which I agree from an image standpoint, more so an actual music standpoint, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Well, I definitely do think Travis is definitely the star of the group.
Yeah, also I'm saying, like, I definitely think his image and his aurora of celebrity presence definitely kept them to stardom more so the actual drumming per se. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes, but the drumming definitely a factor. Like Travis is an incredible drummer,
Well, I
and
know he's an incredible drummer, but the Blink 182 chorus
but
and na na na
but
na na
I
na na na
think
na na still would have sold millions of albums.
but I think what makes Travis so like famous, I guess, is just he's the full package. Like he's very marketable because he has an image,
Well, yes.
but he's also got the skills to back it up.
Yes.
Like
he's got a lot of tattoos.
Yeah, I don't know if he's the best drummer ever. Probably not. There's probably some metal drummers that can do way crazier shit.
Yeah. Or just
But
jazz
he's definitely
and R&B
like
drummers.
he's definitely in the running if you're trying to make like a top 5 list.
He's definitely a great pop punk drummer. I mean, I'm sure there's some like jazz and R&B drummers that are probably absurd who I never even heard of are probably way more skilled just because
Like I would definitely say like from a skill standpoint, like I know like Avenged Sevenfold's drummer, may he rest in peace. He did some fucking wild shit. So like yeah, I probably wouldn't say Travis Barker is the most skilled, but he's definitely in the running if you're trying to make like a top 5 or a top 10 or something.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the most famous drummers of all time, I'll say that much.
Yeah. And so I definitely think like I get where you're coming from, and I don't think Blink would be nobodies if Scott stayed in the band, but Travis is definitely what elevated them, in my opinion.
Well, I said it's his image, in my opinion, his markability, which is way more huge. I don't think you put Travis Barker on all the small things, Scott Reno on all the small things, and next thing you know, all the small things is a dud on college radio. Dude Ranch did go gold.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they would be nobodies, but I also don't think they would be megastars.
Oh yeah, yes, I get that, but I like to defend Scott. I'm a Scott defender, just because
I know.
I
like Scott too. As I've said before, to be able to play all those songs with that speed for that long, like, I mean, in a studio, I know, like, you could just keep going until you get it right, but, like, he's got to play all that shit live, you know, so he'd have to keep up that endurance for, like, an hour, hour and a half. So, like, you gotta be pretty good to be able to do that without getting tired.
Yeah, so, but Mutt, though, on the other hand, it's a great song, probably my third or fourth favorite, depending on what day of the week you ask me.
Fair enough.
Anything else you want to say?
Now, I think we can move on to track 11, Wendy
Wendy
Clear.
Clear. I love the guitar riff in this song.
I do as well. I think this one is probably, in my opinion, more of a filler track. Because I don't really have a whole lot to say about it.
I mean, I think the guitar riff in there is definitely pretty awesome. It has an awesome good opening guitar, and it's just more pop punk. It's still good.
Yeah, I'd like to disclaim once again, there's not a single song on this album I dislike. Not even Adam's song. Although Adam's song might be my least favorite just because, like, it's a lot more serious. And I skip it a lot. But there's not a single song on this album that I dislike. But yeah, Wendy Clear, I think for me would just be kind of a filler song. It's just kind of there.
I mean, fair enough. I mean,
like, I don't skip it if I'm listening to the whole album, but I'm also never just putting Wendy Clear on just to listen to.
you have a point there, my man. You have a point there. I think that also has a lot of. I also think Wendy Clear is also a victim of the rest of the album's success. Like, if you throw Wendy Clear on, even in my opinion, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, I would probably have that as one of my favorite songs on the album. Just because I think Enema is far superior than Take Off Your Pants, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Wendy Clear compared to the rest of the album is a filler, but I feel like if you threw that on Take Off Your Pants, it would probably be like a top 3 song on that album for me. And in my opinion, but here it's probably my third favorite Mark song or second favorite Mark song. I don't even know how my Mark songs go. But the guitar is awesome. The lyrics are, it's Blink 182 talking about he has a nuclear bomb, so it doesn't really make sense, Mark, but I got you though. And I just like how it's a perfect Mark closer, I guess, in a way. But yeah, I mean, it's a song. Definitely a song.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. I guess I couldn't really compare it to Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. I'd have to listen to Take Off Your Pants and Jacket again and, like, try and review that, like, track by track before I could make a judgment call. Well, yeah, definitely. For me, I think I would just kind of call it a filler song. I'm not putting on Wendy Clear just to listen to by itself, but I do enjoy it. Again, I want to throw that disclaimer out. Anytime I get critical of a song I like, it is still a song I like. This is just really me being critical and I guess maybe a little nitpicky for the sake of the podcast album review.
Yeah, well, I mean, nobody wants to hear a podcast where you're like, this song's great, next song.
Exactly.
Which I'm kind of guilty of doing, to be honest. So I want to apologize to everybody because I just love this album. It's just hard for me to really criticize much about it. So
you're letting us down.
I know, because usually, I tend to, because I like to tend to think that I'm like the quote unquote bad cop when it comes to music. Like, I have to think I'm more of a snob, I guess, or more of a stickler. But on this album, I'm more like everything's great. Don't worry about it.
Fair enough.
Anything else you want to say about Wendy Clear?
No, didn't really have a whole lot to say about that one.
Okay, and now we're reaching on to the finale.
Yeah, before we head on to track 12, I just would like to acknowledge that I do see there is Japanese limited edition bonus tracks. Have not heard them, but they also look like they're just all live versions of songs on the album, and damn it.
Well, fair enough.
So, alright, so yeah. So anyway, moving on to the final track of the album, track 12, Anthem.
And I just want to say I might be one of the few human beings in this world that think this, but this is my favorite Blink-182 song. This song is great in my opinion, and if there is a deep cut on this album, this is the deep cut because they never, ever, rarely play this song live. Like, the only videos I see, the only actual videos they have of them playing this song live is from the reunion. Not the reunion show, the 20-year anniversary show. And before that, it's just like these random, like, no video, just audio of them like playing it before the album even came out live. And it's just
Yeah.
they don't play the song live. So.
I think we've played the song live about the same amount of times that they did past the Enema tour.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, cause this song is like, it's just so like, for whatever reason, it's just so it's definitely like, I guess, a deep cut on this album because they never played this song live. Like, even back when Enema dropped, they didn't play this song live when they would, like on the Mark Tom and Travis show. This is like the only Enema song they didn't play for whatever reason. That and like, I think this was the only song on that album they didn't play for whatever godforsaken reason.
Hey, you pick Wendy Clear over this one? What the fuck, guys?
I mean, you pick on. I mean, to be fair, this is my favorite Blink song, so I'm a little bit biased. So I get a little pissed.
Well, I mean, it's definitely
any song over this.
It's definitely. I think it would round out my top 5 on the album. Like, obviously, my top 3, and then my number 4. I don't know what my number 4 would be. Number 4 would probably be Dumpweed, and then my number 5 would either be this or All the Small Things.
Like with Anthem, like first of all, Anthem is in the key of B, so you already know damn straight it's going to be a banger. And it has a little bit of a sad kind of vibe to it because it is in the key of B, and the lyrics are all about like, just the song that just encapsulated what teen angst is all about.
I was just about to say it's teen angst in a song.
I know, like this song is just so angsty.
I'm honestly convinced that that's why it's called Anthem, is because it's like the anthem of being a teenager, because it's like literally all teenage problems.
I know, like all about like liquor at the mall and just your dad's young, you to turn the radio down, and he's young at the band. But like the song's catchy. I love the lyrics, and in my opinion, this is one of the most underrated songs on the bass that Mark Hoppus has done, because this song, he's moving pretty much the entire time. This is essentially like a Saves the Day song with Ivan D'Amico on the bass, because he's constantly going do 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 do, and then he goes do 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 do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the song is very underrated on the bass, because it's definitely one of the more harder bass tracks that Mark Hoppus has ever written. It's a shame that we never actually really get to see this song get its due, because everybody seems to love Anthem Part 2, which is a good song, but those sequels aren't the original.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the only sequels that are better than the original are like Godfather Part 2 and like Halo 2.
And Terminator 2.
And Terminator 2, exactly.
So, I mean, but like Anthem is like, it's just one of my favorite songs. Like, I love the lyrics. I love, it's in the key of B, so the music's great. And it's just like, it brings you back of kind of being like an angry teenager, but it's not like, just me. I don't know, but it's hard for me to explain because I just love this song.
Well, I definitely like the lyrics of. I like the lyrics of this one way better than the lyrics of Anthem Part 2. I don't know what the fuck they're singing on. They think he's like, trying to get political and talking about like adults elect them and shit or whatever.
Yeah, it's more like, this is just more teenager stuff. Anthem Part 2 is like, it's just a lot of blaming on the parents, when this is more about, I want to get drunk with my friends, but none of them are 21.
Exactly.
And it's just in the key of B, and it's just catchier. I like the lyrics better.
And it also started a pretty funny movement in the genre. It's not specific to pop punk, but it's definitely the most prevalent in pop punk, where like almost every band has a song called Anthem. Or it's either Anthem or The Anthem, or like Anthem of something. Like Blink has 2 songs called Anthem. Zebrahead has a song called Anthem. Good Charlotte has The Anthem. Newfound Glory has Anthem of the Unwanted. Trivium has a fucking song called Anthem. Like I said, it's not exclusive to pop punk, but it's mostly pretty prevalent in pop punk.
Yeah, there's a lot of anthems, but like this song is just it's super freaking fast too. You know what I mean? Like with the drums, it's insane how like he's just killing. Travis just killing it on the
Yeah, this is
drums.
another. I would say this is probably another example of Travis's drum skills really shining through. Because
Yeah,
this
because
is
he's
another
just
song that has. It's kind of almost like Mark's bass lines, where like you don't really notice it on a first listen, but if you kind of sit there and like really pay attention to it, it has like all those little like Travis nuances.
yeah, it's definitely, in my opinion, one of their most underrated, just pure pop punk songs from a songwriting standpoint because it's definitely technical for pop punk bass and it's pretty freaking crazy on drums.
I mean, most things Travis writes are fucking crazy on the drums.
Well, to be fair, I think pop. If we're about the genre pop punk and drums in general, I feel like if there is a genre that's quote unquote, if there's an instrument that's quote unquote hard in the genre, it's definitely drums, just because how fast it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, the song is one of the perfect like closing tracks, just because how it fades out with he saying I time bomb," which after 20 years of really liking this album, I never really got a full grasp of what it meant, other than like he's gonna freak out sooner or later. Is what I got from it. But
Yeah, you know, those are like
uh,
the best lyrics, are the ones that leave it open to interpretation.
yeah,
Like,
so
yeah, I
I'm
guess
pretty
he's
sure that's
trying to
what it
say he's
means.
like a ticking time bomb because
Yeah,
his
he's gonna
parents are making him
explode.
mad.
Yeah, so but I just like how it's just I time bomb, where it's not even like grammatically correct. Was as a kid, I always got confused. I'm like, what is he trying to say that he's gonna blow up? But like, yeah, now as I say, like, he's just gonna probably gonna end up freaking out. It's just and then it just phase out with him I time bomb, and the album just ends, and it's just like it has the perfect amount of like super fast teen angst, and then this kind of like quote unquote big chorus, I guess to say, and then the just more Mark Hoppus bass in the bridge when he's going do 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 when he's talking about I hear my dad yelling at the band. Like it's just I love this song. That's all I gotta say about it. But continue.
I wasn't saying anything.
Well, I know, but I just wanted to see if you had any closing remarks.
No, I do enjoy this song quite a bit too. I don't think I enjoy it quite as much as you do, but I still do enjoy it. It definitely makes my top five for sure. Uh, it, that or all the small things, either one of those round out my top five. Um,
And,
and yeah, I definitely agree with you. I definitely think this song's a little more technical than you would expect a normal pop punk song to be.
yes, and this was one of the few reasons, other than me getting stuck in traffic on my way to work, is why I wanted to see the 20-year anniversary tour of this album. Is just because I will probably never have another chance to ever see Anthem performed live ever again. That and I got lucky I got stuck in traffic.
Yeah. And I remember you just texted me like, "Yo, you want to go see Blink tonight?" I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, so so I mean Anthem, great song, great closer, true underrated Blink-182 gem if you ask me. But any closing remarks about the album as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, I guess just it's one of the. I mean, it's one of the. It's the most popular release in the genre. Although I guess maybe it's the third most popular since Green Day unfortunately hasn't beat twice. But
Although I think Blink has more staying power, though. I think this album has more staying power. I think people still like Enema way more in 2020 than people like American Idiot in 2020.
yeah, you got a good point there. I just for it fucking it really revolutionized the genre. Like I said before, Enema, everything was sounding like every pop punk band was sounding like like No FX, Face to Face, fucking Millencolin,
Well, it's either
which
you were like skate punky or you were like an emo influenced pop punk band.
yeah. But then after Enema, it started like the whole what I call the top 40 wave, which I fucking love the top 40 wave. That's when that's when the shit was like literally like it was like top 40. Like that's why I call it the top 40 eras, because they all had songs on the top 40, like Blink, Sum 41, Good Charlotte, Simple Plan, Newfound Glory, Bowling for Soup. Like all those songs, like you would hear them all like on the radio. Like,
Yeah, Dark
quite a few of
71.
them were on those Now CDs, not just Blink. I remember Fat Lip was on a Now CD. 1985 was
Hmm.
on a fucking Now CD.
Yeah. Good Charlotte was on a Now CD. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And just in general, yeah, I think it added a little more pop to pop punk. And I do enjoy that because I definitely consider myself a little more on the pop side than the punk side. Like, I don't like legit like punk rock and skate punk. I wouldn't say I dislike it, but I definitely would prefer to just listen to regular pop punk. So to give a closing, if I got to give it a grade, probably like a 9.5.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely give it a 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10. It's definitely one of the best pop punk albums to ever come out, and in general, since I'm a pop punk guy, one of the best albums in general.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm saving that perfect 10. I don't know what I would give a perfect 10 score, but it definitely gets the next best thing, which would be a 9.5 from me.
Only one album gets a perfect 10
I know.
out
I
out
already
of
know
me.
which one that is.
Yep.
But for those that don't
Yeah.
know, he's talking about Newfound Glory's self-titled album.
Yes, which is amazing in every way humanly shaped. But Enema of the State, it's a great album. It's definitely a top 5 pop punk album of all time for me. Um, I think it probably after all these years, maybe it probably eclipsed as my favorite Blink album because for a long time I was Dude Ranch is the best, then Enema. Now I think it's kind of Enema by a slight margin over Dude Ranch, even though Dude Ranch does have some songs that I like a lot. But I think
Oh, they're
Enema
both
just
great
has a lot of
albums.
quality. Yeah, they're definitely my top 2 favorite Blink albums. But yeah, that's all I gotta say is obviously if you're listening to a pop punk podcast, this is definitely like the starter album. You most likely heard this album before. Everybody who likes the genre even a little bit knows this album. It's as everybody knows the album artwork. A lot of girls like to be the nurse for Halloween, and it was a pop culture phenomenon, and I can't state how important this album was, and just how
Yeah,
it really just it made pop punk a thing.
it kicked off pop punk being pop music, and when I say that, like I mean like on like all consistently in the top 40, on the radio at a time where the radio was still very relevant,
Hmm.
and yeah, it just the things it did. To go back to what I said earlier about all the small things. Obviously, I respect it as an album for what it did for the genre, but what makes the album so great to me is even if you remove that, right? Even if you remove like my respect for it for being like for bringing pop punk to the mainstream, well, the mainstream, and you remove all that and just take it at face value, it's still a good album, still a very good album.
Hmm. 100% agree.
So, yeah, I think that's about all we have for today. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I stay tuned next week. I'm not sure what our topic's going to be about next week. I'm not sure if we're doing another album review next week, but we'll keep you guys posted. We're going to have a new time schedule next week. Like I said, we're going to have to keep you posted on social media. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll probably post a new time in the description. And yeah, so I will catch you guys later every Tuesday at noon on YouTube and time pending on Twitch. Peace.
See ya.